mostly Parry will be commanding the stream tonight. So, yeah, starting off with the beautiful Manga Mama, my lady, the Manga Mama of the Discord. By the way, if you haven't joined the Discord, please do. We have fun there. Talk a lot of shit, make a lot of memes, all that jazz. Do you have anything to say now that I introduced you?
I am catching up on Berserk. I have been reinvigorated since the news, and I just finished Big Book 10. So I know I was at a lull, but oh my god, now that it's picking up and it feels so like fairy tale Adventureland world traveling, I love it. I can't wait for more.
You say Big Book 10?
The
Yes.
deluxe edition, yes, Big Book 10.
Oh my
Deluxe edition
gosh.
number 10. I don't know how she does that on top of binging, like
You know
catching
how.
up to One Piece. Oh yeah, she doesn't sleep. That's right.
That's how.
And lo and behold, she's actually been making some TikToks, even though she says she's not about that life. She still has some juice in her in terms of.
Because I'll give him one and he's like, that's too raunchy for me. And I was like, I'll post it.
But speaking of TikTok, we have to my left, or to your left if you're looking at the screen, we have Chili. I don't know where he's at. He's definitely well over 100K. Been over 100K for I don't know how many months. But man, if you're looking for a spring anime to watch, he's got your recommendations. This is Chili Rex
Yeah.
in
Jesus.
the cut.
Yo, what is up? What is up? Welcome back to another episode on our new time, Wednesday evenings, Wednesday nights, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, if you're looking for recommendations, I have seen too many anime, so I probably can recommend you something that you may not have seen yet.
Last but not least, it's me. It's the fun employed content creator because I'm trying to survive out here off of the sponsor. Kumar Sutra, what's going on, guys? We have, I think, a lot of what people need in their lives. That's anime to turn your brain off to. Because as much as we love the seinen, the tear jerking shojos, the suspenseful shonens, you need those shows where you could just be like, you know what? Let me just relax, or at least just laugh a lot, or just be cozy too. And this is what we
Yep.
got. Let's go to the first one though that Chili could actually speak on.
Yo, Atrix, what's up?
Yo, Atrix, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in. We got Laid Back Camp.
Laid Back Camp. You want to talk about anime you can chill and turn your brain off and just sit there and relax and just enjoy the hell out of it? It's Yudu Camp. Laid Back Camp is, in my opinion, I really think this is the greatest slice of life anime to ever exist and will ever exist. Like, it is the most perfect culmination of what a slice of life anime is, in my opinion. But so we follow this group of girls in high school and them going on camping trips, basically, at Mount Fuji, different parts of Japan. And it's the most cozy show you will ever watch. When you watch them go on these camping trips, it makes you want to go camping. Like, I, for one, am not someone that's like, yo, let me go out in the woods and like hang out and, sleep by the riverbank. Like, that's not me. That's not what I'm about. But when I watch this, I'm like, damn, I need to go out in this. I need to find like a nice scenic area, go for a camping trip with some friends and just sit back, eat some ramen, be nice and cold but toasty by the fire. Like, this show makes me want to do that. And it is just like I said, it's the perfect show to just sit back and relax to.
So is Laid Back Camp 3 seasons in?
3 seasons?
It
Two or
is
three?
two seasons.
Is it third season confirmed or no?
No, there's 2 seasons, and then there's a movie coming out this summer.
So the
Actually,
fact
next
that there's
month,
even
I
a
think.
movie coming out, this show, excuse me, this anime hits a lot of people or resonates with a lot of people. If you're just trying to be cozy.
100%. I'm telling you, like, I've never heard a single person have a bad thing, like even a small bad thing to say about this show, because you can't. Like, there's nothing about the show that you can dislike, because it's life, it's wholesome, it's funny, it's cute, it's adventurous, but at the same time not crazy. And yeah, it made me want to go to Japan even more than I already wanted to go to Japan, because I'm like, all right, so now I need to plan for like a day or two where I'm gonna go to Mount Fuji and camp out and just hang out and maybe go fishing or something, because that's what they do, and it is just so amazing, such an amazing show. 10 out of 10. 100 out of 10, really. Like, I recommend it to
100 out
everybody.
of 10. This man.
If you're looking for a cozy show, this is it. This is the one. Like, the one show.
Well, I guess off that note, the next one is more coziness that you could speak on. I've seen a bunch of like video clips, and they're really funny, but I still don't really know what the premise of the show is.
So this is another one, another slice of life. It's kind of similar to Yudu Camp, Laid Back Camp in a way, and I mean this in the least disrespectful way possible. This is kind of like a poor man's Laid Back Camp. And again, I like in the least disrespectful way possible. But Renge, the girl with the purple hair, I guess light purple hair, she's hilarious. Funniest character in the show by far. But basically, it's a group of girls that live in this small rural town. This small rural town in Japan, where their school is like, there's like 8 students in the entire school. There's one teacher. They all are in the same exact classroom, and the teacher just teaches each of them like their own lessons, and the other ones do their homework while the teacher's teaching the other ones. But it's all about just growing up in rural, small town Japan with your tight knit group of friends, and yeah, growing up in the Japanese countryside. There's not much more to say about it. It's another one that you can just turn it on, sit on the couch, and just watch and relax. Like, this is another one where you will feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into your couch as you're watching until Renge, the girl with the purple hair, does something absolutely ridiculous and makes you pee your pants laughing.
I don't know if maybe I'm mixing it up, but I've seen clips where she's like doing wrestling moves to like a teddy bear, or is that somebody else? Is that another?
I think that's her.
Okay, because I could have seen it looks very familiar.
There's a song, it's or she says Nyan Pasu, like as like a hey, what's up? And then there's a clip of her where she like pokes a girl, she's like poking a girl and like going crazy on her, like poking her.
Yeah,
You've definitely seen that one. Yeah, that's her. And she's just like it's so it's really funny. It is really funny.
It's giving me Yotsuba vibes. If you've seen
I've heard of Yotsuba. I've heard of it. I don't know. It's a manga, right?
Yeah.
I have heard of it. I haven't read it though.
It's like Azumanga Daioh.
I've heard of that.
Like Azumanga Daioh.
But moving on, as you can see, there's going to be a little bit of a relative theme for some of these shows. The next show is a certified hood classic, if you've not seen. Anime hood classic. If you're looking for just a show to turn your brain off to, this is the show for you, because most of the characters in this show do not have brains either. So, or they're lacking the thinking capacity of. But, I mean, we could go on for days with this. This show is Atrix. If you're looking for an anime where you're just like looking for people's daily lives or just everything that people do in their day, this is the one for you times 1,000, because the way they make the mundane everyday life extreme and ridiculous is what makes the show a gem.
Yeah,
I cannot recommend the show enough.
Hilarious. It's almost like a sketch comedy.
Literally.
Like Saturday Night Live or something. Like, some of the things they do are so ridiculous. It's just like they wrote this like to be a sketch comedy, because each episode is broken up into just small segments. So each episode might have 4 or 5 mini episodes within them that each have their own kind of like story, and they may or may not tie together with other pieces that happen in the episode, but just ridiculousness ensues, and it's hilarious. Like, the dub is funny, the sub is funny, all of the characters are hilarious. Even the side characters that show up for like one episode will do something absolutely ridiculous, and you'll be crying laughing.
What makes it great is the fact that like these 3 girls are hilarious, but there's also like so many other side characters that they kind of also shed light on. There's like a talking cat. Well, not a talking cat, but does he talk or he just think to himself?
Yeah, no, he talks.
And then there's the little girl that's a extreme, like a genius, like a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's I forgot who the other ones are, but yeah, Atrix. I cannot, like I said, I can't stressed enough to watch the show because you will cry of laughter for even the very first episode. Like it just, you know what you're getting into. I wish we could show clips, but like we would be here all day just watching Nichijou and
literally would be here all day because there are so many clips from this show, and this is one that I constantly throw on in the background when I'm doing work. Then I find myself 40 minutes later not doing any more work and just watching the show, and I'm like, damn, I gotta turn it off.
Though I will say though, if I were to rewatch it, because I've only seen it in the sub, I would love to see how well the dub is, because I could imagine the dub is just as funny.
Mm-hmm. It is. They just throw like these little lines in there that you know like definitely weren't there in the sub, but they just add to the ridiculousness of the story that already exists.
Word. So I guess we'll move on to the next. If you haven't seen Nichijou, again, please watch it.
I remember this one a lot as a kid, and the song that would always come on for it, but I've never actually watched it.
What is this show? I don't know.
Lucky Star.
Lucky Star. The
yeah.
You would know the music. You would know the music because
you would know the music
100%.
100%.
Popular. Can we 100%.
Play it?
Can we? I don't know if we were gonna copyright it.
I don't know.
Literally just leave the music to Chinn.
Yeah, I have no idea.
KUMAR, can I get a discount?
But yeah, look up
the
the Lucky Star OP if you're watching this right now. Look up the Lucky Star OP and listen to it. You'll probably know it. You've probably heard it before. The little cheer dance that they do, all of that.
So catchy.
But yeah, Lucky Star. Again, like I said with Nanan Biori to Laid Back Camp, I would say this is kind of the poor man's version of Nichijou. Like Lucky Star, Nichijou.
Really?
Very similar.
It.
Yeah, well before.
I would still say Nichijou is 100 times better than Lucky Star. And I love Lucky Star. I think Lucky Star is a fantastic show, but I think Nichijou is in a class of its own. But it follows kind of the same format where it's like each episode is broken up into little segments and they just show them living their high school lives and doing ridiculous things. There's not really too much more to say about it besides the fact of the characters. The same thing with Nichijou. The characters are a lot of fun. Instead of 3 of them, there's 4 of them. They all have their little quirks and personalities, and even the side characters get their moments to shine like Nichijou.
All right.
Do you know how many episodes it is, or like, or not episodes, but like when it ran till? Because I know it's like an older show, obviously, but I feel like it just gets me. It's just used for memes, and that's about it. Because I literally
and the music,
yeah.
It's 24 episodes, and it ran in 2007.
Okay.
That sounds about right. 2007.
Yeah.
But the next show, the Atrix, if you're looking for characters doing daily stuff in their daily lives, this literally says that in the title of the anime, Daily Lives of High School Boys, which is...
I've heard you guys rave about this
it's
one.
just as good as Nichijou.
My God.
I still put Nichijou a little higher, but this is close.
I love this show so much because it reminds me of me and my friends in high school.
Yes, the high school youth.
They do. Like it is absolutely hilarious, and
the picture on the bottom right speaks for itself.
Yeah, like each of the characters in the show, I could relate to like one of my friends growing up. Like, yeah, that's my friend. That's my friend. Because so many of the things they do on the show are things that like my friends and I actually did growing up. Like they were watching in one of the episodes, they're watching a group of girls like talk and fool around or whatever. And they're like, oh, let's dub over their voices and give them lines.
Yeah.
So they start giving these girls lines. They're like 50 yards away. They can't hear them, but they start saying lines for these girls. And the lines are hilarious. They make no sense whatsoever. But like, that's something I did with my friends growing up. Like, oh, look at these people like fighting. Let's give them some lines. Like,
it's just high school boys being stupid boys. Like, it's so funny. It's all you need in a recipe for a funny ass anime. And obviously, anime has a great touch of making things a lot more, like, ridiculous. Not even to the extent where, like, Nichijou, like, a girl gets her hand bit by a dog and she's shooting a laser out of her mouth in pain. It's maybe not to that extent, but it's still just as funny. And maybe a little more grounded in realism, but it's definitely like everyday, like, you know, just boys shooting the shit, just doing dumb shit, and it's a treat. So Atrix,
Yeah.
Nichijou, and Daily Lives of High School Boys. If you're looking for,
Add them to the list.
add them to the list of
for sure.
anime to watch, to turn your brain off to if you're just looking to look at characters live their daily lives. But yeah, I can't.
And do dumb shit.
Yeah.
That's all you need. That's all you need. I definitely agree with you. Though it's more grounded in realism than Nichijou is, and you're not going to get the Kyoto Animation Sakuga when she decides to like do an alligator roll on a goat, or you know, the laser shoots out of her mouth when she gets bit by a dog. But yeah, I love this show. I absolutely love this show.
Or and just to add to that before we go to the next slide, I think what makes this show, I mean, Nichijou, obviously the extremism and the ridiculousness of like the animation is what makes it funny, on top of having genuinely funny characters and moments. But I feel like for Daily Lives of High School Boys, like, it's not as extreme, but like just the dialogue is so funny. It's very like witty, and like it doesn't come off as like cheat, like they're trying to make it funny. It just comes off naturally as funny because the characters have great dialogue. So I think that's what makes it as funny as it does. Yes, bless you.
Thank you.
But
I've
yes,
noticed a lot of slice of life, which makes sense because it's easy to turn your brain off to, because there's nothing that you'll miss if you look away from the screen either. Because when I think of turn your brain off to, I also think of like, what can I put beside me while I'm working, and it helps like with ADD. So slice of life is one, because you're not really gonna see like somebody try to embed drama when you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Exactly, and this is when, and not for nothing, we do have a lot of slice of life, but there are other. We skipped one. You skipped one.
Oh.
There's Psyche K, which I think is still a slice of life, but I don't really know because I see a lot of this show, but I have not watched it. So
I have
Chili.
not watched
It's
it.
like
I see a lot of people cosplay it.
It's like a slice of life with some supernatural elements,
some
because
shonen
obviously
okay, that's what I
homeboy Psyche is a psychic. Like literally all powerful psychic, would probably beat the shit out of Goku. Like he's a psychic, and it's all about him getting by in his life without people knowing he's a psychic, and he doesn't want to be bothered with anybody. Like his whole thing is just like, I want to live a normal ass life. I don't want anybody to bother me. I don't want to be annoyed. Like, I just want to go to school, learn, go back home, eat some coffee jelly, and like watch TV. And he obviously can't do that. Hence the name, The Disastrous Life of Psyche K, because he ends up becoming friends with people even though he didn't really want to. He hates his brother, and his brother is like a mad scientist that wants people to know he has powers, and Psyche obviously doesn't want anybody to know he has powers. The main girl with the blue hair ends up like falling in love with him, even though he literally does nothing to make her fall in love with him. And it's because he ignores her, she falls in love with him. And he's like, what the hell? What do I have to do to win? Like, how can I get a win out of my life? And this is a show I've probably seen literally from start to finish hundreds of times.
Really?
Wait, it's still not ongoing? I thought it was still ongoing.
No, it's done. It's done. It's this is one that literally whenever I was doing work is on in the background. Like, I switch it up between like this, Nichijou, Grand Blue. Like, this is one of the shows that is always on in the background. Like, if I'm cleaning or something, I just put Psyche K on, because there's still moments in there where I watch it and I crack up even though I know exactly what's coming. It's just a funny show. It's just stupid. Like, it's just a silly show where you see someone that doesn't want all this attention but ends up getting all of this attention and just has to deal with it.
How many episodes we
Like,
talking?
it's nothing.
Because I might want to.
The first season, I think the first 2 seasons are both 24.
Okay.
And then the third season is only like, it's weird. The third season is only like 4 episodes or something. I don't know why.
They squeeze it into the last season, the second season.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish there was more, but the dub of the show, the dub only exists for the first season. I wish they would dub season 2 and 3, because the dub is amazing, absolutely hilarious. It is hard to watch in sub because he talks super fast. But yeah, if you watch it, I recommend the dub. And then when you go into the second season, you might just have to deal with the sub if you want to continue watching it.
Nice. I guess we'll keep it moving then to the next anime, Blood Lad, which is not a slice of life. I guess I would put this under shonen. It's got a lot of shonen
It does.
aspects.
He also pulls from a lot of shonen characters as his inspiration.
But I remember I actually never finished this anime, which I need to do. I only got like halfway through it before I forgot to finish it or whatever. But it reminded this topic reminded me of this show because I was having such a great time watching it because it was such a simple ass plot. I'm just like, you know what? Not everything needs to be like. Not every vampire show.
What Blood Lad did you read? Because it's not.
It's simple. It's just about this. It's just about the vampire just wanting to live a lazy life, even though he's a noble vampire lord. He's just like, no, I don't want to be a vampire lord. Let me just chill and like indulge in human life necessities like anime and otaku shit.
Okay, you missed the rest of the story.
No, wait.
That's like the first episode.
And then the girl to the left of him, who's a human, somehow gets teleported to the demon world and then meets him, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's a human girl. This never happens to me." And then she ends up passing away, but she becomes a ghost in the demon world. And then his whole journey is like, you know what? I have to make amends and make this girl alive again because it's my fault that she passed away.
That's like the first episode. You're missing like the rest of it, which is
but
actually...
yeah, actually doesn't mean that it's
No, there's like a lot of themes going on. So you probably could turn your brain off to it, but the ghost girl, his whole motive, the rest of the story is to try to get her to have her body back because it got eaten by a plant that he had in the room.
A demon plant.
A demon plant.
God.
When the demon plants invaded. And so the area in the demon realm is split up in different like territories. So like
like levels, like a video game.
Like one guy's a werewolf, and so
guy on the top right is a werewolf. He's cool.
He tries to like fight, and then the bottom two are the actual brother and sister, and so they're actually part of like one of the highest levels, and they're trying to get knowledge of like, okay, how do I like convert her back? And in the process, they find out that there's another monster in the realm who's been taking parts of monsters to make like a Franken monster, and that Franken monster is challenging other monsters and taking their body parts when he wins to get stronger.
It's a cool ass show.
And while that's happening, and so he's holding like a tournament and just like absorbing
might have
monsters.
to check this out.
And so while
dope.
that's happening, you find out too that like why doesn't this guy have parents, like the main character? And it's because his parents sealed away the worst demon, and the worst demon is now trying to take possession of the Franken demon, who's trying to take over. So it becomes like a whole like, we have to take down the most evil, powerful villain. So it's not like laid back by any means. The first episode,
hold on. She says that, but she put One Piece on this list. So let's be real.
Like, One Piece is it's like in that.
No, okay. If you're gonna pick,
it's in that realm of One Piece, but like One Piece, you have stuff going on behind the scenes, but it's really laid out. Versus here, there's a lot of behind the scenes things happening that you gotta like make sure you look over at the screen to see. Oh, he just like created this Franken demon like subtly.
See,
quietly.
that's the difference though when it comes to us and watching anime. Like, even though this is turn your brain off, I'm still watching the anime. I'm not cooking or cleaning while I'm watching anime or doing work.
Call out.
That's what I'm saying though.
You're making that money.
Regardless, this is a great show to watch though.
It is really
I am interested in it.
It's very funny too.
I never really knew anything about this show. I just have like seen it on things and just like kind of passed over it, like not for me, but it sounds pretty interesting.
It's got like your typical shonen like vibe to it, but it's also like just a different take on like vampire living, I guess, or like the world of vampires.
And there's also like a whole backstory to the girl, like there's and the world of the human world versus the demon world. There's so many cool layers, and I guess the most laid back part is that the main character himself. He's just very chill on how he pursues things, and rather than use his own actual ability, he'll be like, I'm gonna use this Dragon Ball move, because he's such a big otaku.
And he'll like reference like exactly. But it's a great show. Like, I got through the first 6 episodes, and I wanna get back into it because
it has a good ending.
It's fun. It's a fun show. So if you're looking for something to just like watch and have fun with,
Blood Lad. I'll add it to the list.
Moving on though, Getting back to Slice of
Hey.
Life. We got Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. I remember watching this and laughing my ass off. I forget the plot, but I think they're in a drawing club or a manga or anime club, Chili, right?
So this one, Nozaki, the big
The
dude
the
that looks like
tallest
a
dude to the
grown
left,
ass
yes.
man. Yeah, that looks like a grown ass man. He is a manga or a mangaka.
Mangaka,
Um,
yes.
and nobody in the high school knows that except for
The girl with the red
I
hair.
forget the girl's name. Yeah,
Yes.
I forget her name, but she ends up finding out that he is one of her favorite mangakas, but she also has a crush on him prior to knowing that.
Yes.
Um, and she's always trying to like tell him that she has a. So she basically tells him like instead of saying like I love you like in typical anime or like I have a crush on you or whatever, she says like I'm a fan of yours. And he is the densest character in anime. Like
Yes.
the most dense man to ever exist. Him being the densest man is like, "Oh yeah, here, sign something for her," gives it to her. And she's like, "Wait, what?" And he thinks that she's saying, "Oh, I'm a fan of your work."
Right.
Meanwhile, she just said the wrong thing, and now she confessed, but basically blew her confession. So this show is it's a rom com, but like you come for the romance, but you end up staying because it's just absolutely
Yeah, you stay for the
hilarious.
comedy for sure.
Yeah, you stay for the comedy. All of the characters in the show are so funny. Like the blue-haired girl next to the guy with the tie on, she is like this princely girl. Like even all the girls are in love with her.
I can
Like the
see
guys
why.
hate her because all the girls love her.
Yeah.
Um, and the dude with the tie is like one of her good friends, but he's always like beating the shit out of her because she skips out on like drama club meetings and like is always dealing with girls. And he's like, "Get your ass over here!" Like dealing with her. The dude with the red hair is like the pretty boy of the school, but he gets really embarrassed easily. So like somebody will flirt with him or he'll say a line to try to act cool
And he
and then
can't
he'll just
keep it
start
together.
blushing.
Yep.
Like yeah, he'll start blushing. Uh, the other girl towards the other end, she's a badass. She's like that super aggressive character that wants to like beat up everyone, super athletic, the loud, boisterous character. It's just a fun show, like a super fun watch, and one of those shows that you find out early, like, all right, we're not going to get much romance out of this, but the
As much as
comedy keeps
the
you around.
plot is like what you're looking for because it starts out with her trying to confess to the dude. I
Mm-hmm.
like how they don't try to even though that is the driving element to the plot, like I said, they don't try to like really shove it down. Like she's not really as much as she's always thinking about like like I still like him, but he's super cool because he's like the mangaka. They're not trying to. She's not trying to force that confession, so to speak. She's just like waiting. She's biding her time and waiting for the right moment, but living the life of like with these like her fellow students and just having like a good time, which I really loved.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like it's one of those I'm pretty sure the confession literally happens in the first like 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time she's like you said, it's like, well, I already told him how I feel, but he didn't really get it, so I don't really know what to do
But she's just like,
now.
I'll stick
And
around. This seems like a good
yeah,
time.
yeah, I'll hang out. Like so yeah, I
Oh
do really
shit!
like it.
The working man.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Uh,
Appreciate you, Chin.
Thank you, Chinn. I hope you're working hard.
But yeah,
I hope
monthly
Steph
girls
Curry's
Nozaki
watching this
too.
stream right now.
Yeah, bro, show Steph.
But yeah, we'll move on
I
to the next
know one
slide.
of those guys are fucking weebs.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, if you're looking for a show, an anime to turn your brain off to, this is the one. This is one of the ones.
Mhm.
I have to
Mhm.
get back into this because we tried to do a watch
Ah.
party with it, and I didn't connect during the watch party. I need to, or maybe I think I need to read it.
love-
I think I would absorb it more reading it.
I heard the manga is amazing. I did hear the manga is amazing.
But it was
This show is
funny.
incredible.
If you're looking for college
I
humor,
love this show.
college themed plot, college everything, this is the show for you.
College everything.
It's just a bunch of
Literally.
college kids that are part of a scuba diving club, but spend more time in the show drinking than they actually do scuba diving, which is fun.
Yep. drinking and being naked.
Yes.
So, like,
Which honestly, watched it when I was watching this, and I know Japan has like they're a little more like they're conservative in their values, but like they'll be like when they bathe and like go to bathhouses, they'll be naked with strangers. So when I was watching this, and you got guys drinking and like stripping and being naked in front of each other, I'm just like, you think college is really like that for them over over there? You know what I mean? But the show is so funny.
I wonder.
Even
college is kind of like that in the States if you play a sport.
That's true. Or I mean,
The
most other
locker room
countries,
is a sacred place.
like when I played badminton in Germany, you would just walk straight into the locker room and the women would just be talking to each other in the showers, just completely naked. And it was very different than in the States. They just didn't. We're more conservative here because of those darn Puritans.
But yeah, if you got, I can't. I think we have.
None of the characters in this show have a brain, so like,
yeah,
this is another one that makes sense.
Literally, your brain is off, their brains are off because it's probably just.
It's a good time.
They're all just. What's the word I'm looking for? Inebriated. There's waifus in this show, so if you're looking for someone to simp for, there's one of the women will fit you through that. And I think arguably, the two best men, like a solid duo of comedy. Just those two could have a show on their own. The dude with the blonde hair and their main character in the black hair in the middle. Forgot their names.
Making me want to get back into it.
It's a great show. So yeah, turn your brain off and have a good time. Laugh your ass off here. I threw this in because if you're looking for an anime to turn your brain off to, I feel like all animes based around tournament arcs that's literally
so true.
Literally, that's it.
That is.
So this anime, King and Astra, one season so far on Netflix, second season confirmed, but we don't know when the fuck it's coming out, is literally an anime about a tournament arc. So that's the plot. That's literally the plot. Our boy Oma, the dude in the middle, dead center, throwing the kick. He is just a guy who just loves to fight, wants to be the best, the strongest, and he gets recruited by. Where is he? Is he on the old man with the glasses on the bottom towards the left? He works for a company.
How did I know that was the guy that recruited him?
Yeah,
I was
so
like
he
looking
works
at it, I was
for.
like, it was definitely that guy.
So I forgot the exact plot, but there are businesses like the top conglomerates of Japan. They all enter a tournament for I think to either rise the ranks of the overlord, the corporate overlord of Japan, to like gain his favor, or for some sort of sum of money to get to their conglomerate. So they have to recruit a fighter to represent their company. So the old man right there, he somehow recruits our boy in the middle to fight for his company, or for the company he works for. And as you can see, there's a lot of different characters. They're each fighters. They're for different companies, but they're each unique fighting style. And that's it. If you want to see people get the shit kicked out of them, this is the show for you. Turn your brain off and just watch people fight. Yeah.
I do love a good turn your brain off and watch people just get pieced up show.
Exactly. And not for nothing, this show is another, like, I don't know why or how, maybe it's just cheaper to do. Netflix loves just mixing 2D with 3D. The CG, the 2D is fine. The CG is actually pretty well done for fighting. Like, I was actually shocked how well it looked during the fighting sequences. So, yeah, if you guys just want to watch anime characters beat each other up, King and Astra on Netflix.
And on that note, another one where he just
that reminds me of that other show from a couple seasons ago. The Edot and Deities one.
Oh yeah.
Where they're just piecing like there is a plot there, but the whole thing is just them piecing up each other.
No, honestly, it's pretty much the same realm, except they're supposed to be human, but the things that they do to each other in the tournament are not obviously human-like.
Physically possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's very Baki-esque. If you guys watch Baki, where the martial arts are like ridiculous to the fact that it should not be. It obviously doesn't happen in real life. But anyways, moving on. Speaking of godlike and superhuman shit, One Punch Man. I'm assuming you added this, Chili, because I didn't add this initially.
I did. Because this is another one that I was thinking of, like, what shows do I put on when I'm like doing other stuff, but I want some like background noise or and this was one of them. Yeah, this is one of them. See, but no, I will not put on One Piece for background noise when I'm trying to actually watch it.
But this
But
show, I feel, but that's it. But again, like when you turn your brain off, like you're turning, for me at least, I'm turning my brain off because this is literally just watching a dude be the most OP superhero. Like that's the plot. So you're not missing much, or not. I should say you're not missing much, but you don't have to think hard when it comes to just what you're about to get
yeah,
into.
you're not missing like a crazy plot, like where you need to like pay attention to what people are saying or like
No,
what's
because
going
you know
on.
he's
Really,
gonna
like,
win. It's just
Mhm.
how he gets there. So you're not like having to be like, who won that one? You're just like, okay, what just happened? That's hilarious.
But you
Yeah.
have to watch, in a sense, and tune in to see the, at least for season 1, the brilliant animation that he does it in, because
That is true.
yeah,
that dream, like in episode 1, that dream sequence he was having against like those
was
giant,
crazy.
like
Was crazy.
I don't know how they animated that shit.
Yep, that was insane.
But yeah,
I
season
mean,
2,
he looks like a brainless character too.
Yeah.
Like he just looks like
look
like
at that
brain
face,
is off.
the most like unexpressed, like the uninspired, expressionless, like
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like this is what you
somehow
put on
has
like
a
a Wii
smile.
character on Wii when you have your Wii and you're making an
Yeah,
avatar.
exactly.
Literally what it looks
Exactly.
like.
Yep, the thin eyebrows, the basic eyes,
And but the show is also
and every other character is super detailed.
yeah, like come on now, fucking Genos should be the main character, honestly.
For real.
But the show
But
is
I
extremely
love
funny.
it.
The show is funny. It's action packed. It's a good time. Season 2, the animation quality kind of dips because they changed studios, but it's still just as funny. And
Yeah.
curious to see
And I
what
will
they
say
do.
season two kind of, not that it really gets into like a deep plot, but like season 2 adds more of like a story element, if you really want to
Yeah.
call it that.
But
with
again,
Gaara.
not something you have to innately really sink
Yeah,
your
you don't
brain
need to be
into.
100% locked in.
Yeah.
No, because a lot of his plight is just getting recognition for his actual actions that a lot of people overlook or attribute to somebody else. So you can just turn your brain off, and then once you hear like the cheers, it's like, oh, did he get that? No,
Mhm.
he didn't get the.
Or I like that
attention.
he gets blamed, like he saved the city
Yeah.
from the meteor, and he got blamed for saving the city from the meteor because when he broke the meteor, the little pieces broke up and like damaged people's homes and shit still.
Can't catch him.
And he's like, "You assholes! I just saved all of your lives, and you're still complaining."
Honestly, yeah. If you haven't watched One Punch Man, you have to. It's a must if you have a Netflix account. Honestly.
And
Yeah.
it started off as a gag comic, hence the easy to turn your brain off to.
Yes.
Mhm.
And turning our brain off to the next show, Konosuba. If you love Isekai, for the Isekai tropes, you gotta watch this to see why we make fun of Isekai fans. Because this is
even
the
if you
biggest
don't
parody.
love Isekai,
This is the
yeah,
Isekai
if you
parody.
don't love Isekai, you would probably still enjoy this.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. But yeah, this is the Isekai parody that, honestly, I feel like is the most popular Isekai, arguably, in terms of just like how each season only gets better. Obviously, we have our Sword Art Onlines, but if you're looking for a dumbass plot with an Isekai, this is it. This is all you
And
need.
stupid characters, and yeah, 100%.
Your human main character gets isekai'd to a world where the people he gets partnered up with are just as dumb as he is, if not dumber.
And the way he gets isekai is hilarious.
Oh,
like, yeah.
No Truck-kun
I
here.
guess I shouldn't say. I won't say it, but
Yeah,
it
no,
is.
gotta
You have to
it.
watch it if you haven't seen it.
We don't want to
The way he
spoil
gets
that laugh
isekai'd
for
is
you. We don't wanna spoil
absolutely
that laugh.
hilarious.
Intriguing.
And like Kumar said, the characters are so dumb. Like Aqua is just an idiot. Megumin is, she uses her spell and she passes out. Like, and
She
Darkness is just
She's just
a
the
sadist.
yeah, the sad. No, is it masochist or sadist?
Masochist.
She's a masochist, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh
honestly,
my
I
God,
think
this
because of the fact that we know Kazuma, our main character, is dumb, he feels, and because his party group are all dumber than him, the fact that he thinks he's smart because he's paired with them is what makes this show so funny to me. Like, he's still a dumbass, but like, because he's
Yeah,
surrounded
like,
by
he's the
dumber
voice of
people, he
reason.
thinks he's a genius.
Exactly. Like he's the voice of reason.
He
That's
almost
when you
has
know
like
you're in
that
trouble.
like that Eddie mentality from Ed, Ed, and Eddie, like I got this in the bag, like like.
That's so true. Oh my
But
god, that's
yeah, it's a
amazing.
great show. 3 seasons in a movie, or is it 2 seasons in a movie?
A movie.
2 seasons in.
Or is there two movies?
It's like 2 seasons, 2 OVAs, and a movie, I think,
But a
or
third
two
season
movies.
confirmed, I believe, just recently.
Yep, third season is confirmed. Currently being worked on.
So although you could
Yeah.
turn your brain off to this show, it's clearly a great show because people are just raving for more. Because I don't know how they think of more dumb shit and funny shit for them to get into, honestly. Which is why you gotta watch it.
I feel like they could just do anything. Like,
Honestly, yeah,
they
they
would
could make
somehow
anything
get themselves
funny.
in any predicament, and they'd have to do something ridiculous to get themselves out of it.
So yeah, another
So, yeah.
another fun isekai slice of life, just dumb comedy shenanigans. Watch Konosuba. Next slide. This is a PARI pick, but a great pick nonetheless.
Ooh, good choice. Good choice.
I spent 300 years killing slimes. This one we got recommended because it was such a cute, comfy show.
It's also an isekai, right? It's also or is
It
yeah,
is
it's
an
also-
isekai.
yeah.
And
Yep.
literally, as the title says, she spends 300 years killing slimes, and so now she's more powerful than anything else in the realm. And so when like a dragon comes to fight her, they end up getting just easily their butt kicked, and they end up joining her. And so she starts to occur like a crew of women and girls that are her team and her family. It's so cute.
And they just want to hang out with her, like at the very end of at the end of it all, they just want to be
Yeah,
with her
facts.
because she's the main character is such a pleasant character, and because she's super OP. But they just love being. They all they're like a big old family. That's what's so
There's no
comfy
serious
about it.
plot motivation besides oh, now she was in her bubble for 300 years, and then someone needed her help, and then now that her family is growing, they're pulling her in slightly different directions and a lot more adventures. But other than that, there's no real driving force through all of it, and therefore there's no real enemy. You're just watching a comfy show of her building a family and opening up, and there are cute little fights in the show, but nothing that's too serious. It's just adorable. I actually love it a lot.
Yep. Perry nailed it.
Yeah,
Love
I
this show.
don't know what else really to add to that because she said
It's
it
so
all.
cute.
So easy to watch.
Oh, I think one
It's
thing
cute.
that I remember when we were watching this, Perry. I think the one thing she said immediately, when we were halfway done with the show, she was like, "Isn't it nice not one man to fuck up their day or something like
I
that?"
know, right? I
Or some
think that's
shit.
the other thing I love. I hate Eastakai because of just mid men, below average men getting super powerful and a bunch of women around them, and then they over abuse all of that and treat women poorly like objects. This show, she's just grabbing a gang of girls. They have a cute little home. She is a dragon girl. They cook. They adventure. They get ingredients together. One of them gets an ingredient that gets them all drunk. I love it. It's so quaint. And I'm if I could live forever in a world a fantasy isekai world, this is what I would want. This is the life I would want.
Yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream for sure.
Next, we
Great
got another
choice.
vampire anime. I wanted to throw this
Oh
in
my god.
because it's just a
Is that an armadillo?
yes, it's an armadillo.
It's so
And he's
cute.
probably one of the best characters
John.
in the show.
John.
John the Armadillo. There's armadillo language. But yeah, there's another dumb
cute.
show. But what makes it great is that it's so fucking funny for no reason. And you would not think that, an anime about a vampire hunter hunting a vampire that can't die would be this funny, but it is.
The armadillo.
It
looks
is.
so
It's
precious.
so funny. Oh my god.
Wait, give me a sequence
This is one of those.
what's happened that's funny.
So the show starts out. The dude with the white hair.
With
He's
the
a
red
vampire
jumpsuit.
hunter. He's his name is Ronaldo or something.
yeah.
Like Ronaldo the
He's
vampire
the best vampire
hunter.
hunter in the world.
Yeah, and you have the vampire obviously there. I think his name is Dracul.
Draluk? Dracul? Something like that?
Draluk,
Draluk,
yeah. Draluk. So Ronaldo goes to kill Draluk, and he walks in the door, and Draluk is like, "Oh, what are you doing in my lair?" Acting all tough and stuff. And then Ronaldo's getting ready to kill him, and something pops up, a bug or something pops up, and Draluk gets scared and he dies. And Ronaldo's like, "Wait, what? What?" But Draluk comes back to life. He can't
He's
can't
feared
die.
as the most powerful vampire, but it's because he could regenerate so quickly that he can't die. But he's
Yeah.
actually so weak, like he can't
That he
like
dies
hurt
all the
himself. Yeah,
time.
he
He's
dies all the time.
So like if he gets like a jump scare, like he'll die, and then he'll come back to
he'll turn
life.
to dust, and then he'll
And
regenerate.
John the armadillo is like his best friend, his little best buddy. So whenever he dies, John like cries. Like it's so funny.
I didn't
like,
finish this anime, but the first episode was so funny and so dumb that I was like, I had to put this on the list. So if you want to watch this, it's so funny. I didn't finish it, but
it's one of those shows that you know is just like stupid as hell. Like you know it is a dumb show. It's almost like if you've seen Napoleon Dynamite, like Napoleon Dynamite is a stupid ass movie. That movie is dumb, but
it's catered to like a specific crowd of people that have a specific humor. But yo, Sora Sensei, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in.
Goated. I want it.
John is goated. Yes, John is goated.
So now, when I was watching, learning about this show, the plot is what hooked me, but the dumb sequences and just the witty dialogue is what kept me throughout. Kept me laughing the entirety of episode 1. Like whoever wrote the show, just kudos to them because they were hilarious. Like the comedy and the timing of the jokes is so good.
I gotta watch it. The vampire dies in no time.
Yes.
All right.
But literally turn your brain off because the plot. Don't even think about the plot. Just watch the stupid shit that they do.
Yeah, just watch it for the interactions and the dumb but funny stuff that happens. Literally.
He's so cute.
Next, we're moving on to another anime that is strictly a tournament. With a little bit of a throwback.
I never watched G Gundam.
G Gundam.
I haven't watched it either.
So G Gundam is literally just Gundams. We all love Gundams, but why I love this show is because it's Gundams strictly just fighting each other for the sake of fighting each other. Even though there's a little bit more to it. It's got that 90s revenge sort of plot. Not really revenge, but more of the 90s I'm looking for this man. Have you seen him? He's my brother. Where is he? I need to find him. So our boy Domon with the red bandana, obviously, because all 90s anime characters had to have red bandanas or just something around their head to make them look cooler than they actually are. He enters a tournament to potentially find his long-lost brother, and that's the plot. That is the plot. I need to fight people to find my brother.
Didn't we watch a clip from this?
Yes, we watched the clip.
The
if you see in the picture on the right, the man with the giant yellow star on his shirt with the purple pink hair, the American, great English. If you're looking for some great Japanese people speaking English, he's your character. But it's the plot, like I said, speaks for itself. You don't have to think hard. You're just following the adventure of this man looking for his brother and fighting other Gundams with his Gundam. That's the plot. 90s in a nutshell. 90s Gundam. All right, Perry. You got to talk about why One Piece is a turn your brain off anime.
So, I'll do a lot of the beginning. So, before the time skip, after the time skip, it's super involved and there's a lot of moving components and you have to be very, very focused on what's going on and the characters because there's so many. But pre-time skip, there's just a lot of slow development arcs getting characters. There's filler. Sometimes Luffy will fight, and it still occurs now, but his fights are more dynamic now. But back then, it could take him 6 to 10 episodes to defeat the main villain. So it's easy to put on a second screen just to hear look over, see a stretched out arm, be he's still going, and then just let it keep going. And then all of their little adventures too, and when they encounter people, nothing is super serious because the main character Luffy is goofy. So because of that, it's just easy to turn off your brain, easy to have on a second monitor while you're working or while you're cooking, and just listen into what's going on, especially the dub because so much of it is dubbed.
Can't watch the One Piece dub. I can't do it. I
tried
it.
I like Luffy's voice
nope.
better in dub, and he agrees.
Luffy
really?
in dub. I would still when I do start my One Piece journey, I'm gonna watch sub because I think the sub sounds grub. The sub sounds great, but the dub, I think the dub just hits a lot for certain people because we grew up with Dragon Ball dubbed, and a lot of the voice actors in One Piece are Dragon Ball characters as well. Like Luffy is Team Gohan is voiced by whoever voices Team Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. Zoro is voiced by Chris Sabat, who does Vegeta, All Might, all those, like, Sanji. I don't know who Sanji. I think Sanji is Trunks from Dragon Ball Z, but and Usopp is Goku. For we all know Goku in dub. But that's why it hits me when she's watching it in dub. I'm just like, oh man, these characters, like, it just hits that nostalgia factor for me. But it was also pretty fun. I was laughing. A lot was said, but I think the sub still has that extra touch to it.
In terms of turn your brain off.
You can't watch something you don't know the language of. So obviously you have to tune in if you're watching a Japanese cartoon. But to Pari's testament, she was blowing through episodes because she was watching the dub. And
I'd be painting my nails watching the dub. I would be doing something while it was on. It's just easy to cruise through, and a lot of it is just, there's so many episodes and such long arcs that you can just sit through most of it.
But Chili, what now that you've heard her take on that,
it's all pre-time skip though. Once you get post-time skip, it's not like that.
Do you agree with that or
how far
not?
are you post-time skip?
I will. I am. I'm almost at the 900s.
Oh man, he's making some headway.
Yeah,
he's almost there.
I'm almost in the land of Wano.
Almost there.
I will say I do agree with Perry when she says after the time skip, it's a lot of you kind of have to pay attention to all the moving pieces and the details that are going on as far as who's coming up in the world.
The world government,
what
has
happened.
Play any piece until after the time skip, and then suddenly the world government is a huge piece.
Yeah. But I think the fillers are definitely turn your brain off because it doesn't matter, and the fillers are just some ridiculous mission or thing they're doing, adventure. But I would still say I was pretty locked in, maybe because I was so locked in from the beginning, and I was I can't miss anything, and I didn't want to miss out on any details.
Chili, with you, I feel like when you were set in the fact that you were gonna watch One Piece, that was your mission. You were just this is what I'm doing. I'm watching One Piece. I'm gonna catch up. So I think that's why that motivation was there for you to stay locked.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm sort of feeling that way too.
Yeah,
just
the
because
fillers,
I feel
fillers are definitely good. Turn your brain off.
But even with the filler, I feel like everyone just has this innate love and just appreciation for One Piece.
Well, the other part of it too is pre-time skip, especially some of the old ones. Even though they've gotten revamped to look more HD and they fit the wide TV format, it's still a little hard to watch because of how dated that animation is and how slow compared to the new modern version where the action is amazing, the colors are amazing, and then just how they choreograph the scenes is amazing. So the older stuff just feels dated and slow, and that's why it's easy to just turn your brain off too and
I get
binge.
that. Not as much as we love retro anime, it does have, I feel like a lot of older shows do kind of suffer from that. We see it with One Piece in the older shows, here's the 5-minute recap of what happened in the previous episode, and then here's this 3-minute intro of the opening song, and here's a little bit more of a recap.
Remember I told you, Kumar, the One Piece intros are all 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes long. They're OPs, they get almost a full song. They don't get just the 90 seconds.
But
they get a full
on top of
2.5 minutes to 3 minutes on top of recap.
The recap. So really, One Piece episodes.
But the recap has gotten better. It has gotten
I could
better.
Imagine. I would hope so.
Yeah.
But I think all
as opposed
anime,
to it being 4 minutes of recap, now it's a minute.
But Shonen in the 90s suffered from that because I know in Dragon Ball as well they did that all the time as well, where they would have the recap into the title
Previous
screen.
episode of Dragon Ball
and then
Z.
you had a bunch of commercials that you had to wait in between, and now we just get the raw episode, so we want more in it.
So I guess honestly, the One Piece episodes pre-time skip or whatever is really just 15 minutes of a story instead of a 30-minute actual.
That's why it's
episode.
so quick to get through. Once you skip that beginning part.
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
All right, so
pick.
I had to throw in Shimonetta.
What a pick.
It was, if you're looking for a dumbass show, but a funny ass show, this is the show for you. As you see the title screen on the left, concept of all lewdness, no porn, no dirty jokes, no cursing, no nothing is not allowed in this show, in this world they're living in, and we got a terrorist, so to speak, combating those laws. And it's a bunch of crude, lewd humor that is very funny because it's just so ridiculous, and that's the plot. That's the plot.
Yeah, if you don't like lewd jokes, definitely don't watch this because the entire show is.
But
lewd
it's not
jokes.
even
That's
that though. I
all
feel
it
like
is.
I feel like this. You'll see in a couple other slides. There's a show that does that super excessively. But I feel like as lewd as this show, like just the dialogue could be, it's still very witty in the way they present it. Like it's not just like yes, it's a lot of it is just Blue Snow. I forgot her actual name. The girl with the glasses in the bottom right, but with the girl with the panties on her head in the left. A lot of it is just her screaming curses because she's trying to combat the censorship of the world they live in. But it's just so funny hearing people scream curses at and just dirty words at the top of the lungs. But she also has a million puns, for days.
Innuendos.
And I think that's funny.
Yeah.
And the main
dub
character is a good
hilarious
straight
for
man.
this too.
Yeah. But
the dub is so funny.
It's a dumb show, but it's so funny. I really highly recommend this show. I can't stress how funny it is. You skipped one,
agree.
but
I'm gonna go back to it because you've been on a roll with lewd.
But yeah, this is the show I was talking about. Prison School is
Yeah.
it will throw the lewd and crude in your face, as you can see in some of the character designs. I'm not gonna point out who, but it's blatantly there. But yeah, it's a dumbass show. These kids go to these boys go to a mostly. I think they're the only boys in the school that they go to.
Yeah.
And
There's an all-girls school,
in an
but they
all-girls
decided
school,
to allow
and
boys.
they get caught doing something they shouldn't, and they get thrown into prison. Hence the title name, Prison School. And their mission is to get the fuck out of the prison so they can enjoy their youth as high school boys and enjoy all the estrogen that they're surrounded by. But yeah, it's a dumb show, but I haven't laughed harder at any show than this show and Shimonetta. Like these shows are so funny.
That's because you were.
That's because I'm a man. Yes, absolutely.
That's
right.
not what I was gonna say.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like that is part of it. Horny boy Kumar.
No, it's Chinn. That's Chinn. That's not me.
That is Chinn.
It's
Chinn,
me. It's Chinn. I will say though, I did tell Chinawasi show, so maybe it is me.
Yeah,
but
Prison School, pure comedy.
Hinamatsuri though, another banger.
Banger of a show.
Don't sweat, Pete. Thank you for tuning in again.
Hey, shout out, Pete. Hinamatsuri, can't say enough amazing things about this show. It is a turn your brain off show, but at the same time, it is a super wholesome, hilarious watch, and you get to see a plethora of characters going through different things, different periods in their life, trying to figure out where they belong, who they are as a person. So it's not just like something like a Nichijou where like there's really no story at all. This one definitely has a plot, definitely has a story. You definitely grow to care about the characters, and there are some moments in there that might hit emotionally for some people, but I think at the end of the day, this is a fantastic show another one that you could just sit on the couch and throw on and watch the wholesomeness, watch the ridiculousness,
laugh to, cry to.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's just a fantastic show. Amazing characters. Like, not enough good things to say about this show, really.
You gotta watch it. I mean, there's so many. Like it has that effect where in Nichijou where like you can recall certain scenes and why they were so funny. Like this show has a lot of that.
Look this way one.
What was that? Oh yeah, the rock paper scissors like look this way, look that way game is iconic for this show. Because
I remember.
Yes, I remember I showed you that scene, or one of the scenes I think we actually did sort of show those scenes on stream like a while
we definitely
back.
did. Yeah.
But yeah, this
Way
show is so
back.
funny. And not for nothing
100
though.
out of 10 recommend.
I think there's another show coming out this summer that kind of deals with Yakuza and sort of like a babysitting type of atmosphere. Not babysitting, but caring for a younger one. With this show at least, because she's not a baby. But I think next summer, if you're looking for a show like Hinamatsuri, I think there's a show coming out called Yakuza and Baby. I think Yakuza and Babysitting are in the title. But
I think you're right.
But be on the lookout for that.
All right.
Ooh, what a timely pick.
Yes, this one coming back. Season 2 is coming back in like 2 weeks. I think I'm pretty sure.
How long has
definitely
it
a
been? Like
part-timer.
8 years or some shit?
It's been like 8 years, 9 years, something like that
Really?
Yeah.
since season 1 came out. This is one of those shows that like you hoped for, or at least for me, it was like hoping, like, oh, I hope it gets a second season. Hope it gets a second season. I had given up on it. I was like,
I
you
think
know
we all
what, we're
did.
never gonna get a second season. And then out of nowhere, the announcement came: Devil is a part-timer, season 2 on the way. Made my entire year hearing that announcement. But yeah, this show, another absolutely hilarious one. Basically, Satan gets isekai into the real world, or he leaves his dimension because the demon world is like falling apart, whatever.
Yeah.
And he ends up in the real world, and you
Doesn't have
see
his
him
powers.
adapt to life. Yeah, you see him adapt to life in the real world as a regular person who
And
has
he
to get a
cares about his
job,
job.
and
He takes pride in
yeah,
his job.
yeah, who
As a
has to get a
burger
job
flipper
and
and delivery boy.
make ends meet. And he is the best McDonald's employee you'll ever find, who actually cares about the fries that are coming out and the burgers being made and making sure the customers are satisfied. And it's an amazing show. It's so funny. The action scenes were pretty dope
Yeah,
from
they're
season
pretty
1,
dope.
as far as I
I was gonna say
remember.
that. I think my favorite thing about
Um,
the show is is the dynamic between him and his right hand man. Even though they're in,
oh yeah.
even though they're in the human world, like the right hand man is still like, is like, I
Mhm.
didn't do everything for this man, but he can't do it to the extent of which he could when he had power. So it's just like this
Yep.
man struggling in the human world with no power is trying to still be the best right hand man he can for this man working a minimum wage job at a burger joint.
Yep. Oh, it is amazing. And then you also get the angel that comes through, the one with the sword.
Yes.
She comes in. She also has to adapt to life in the human world, get a job, figure out how to get by in life. Yeah,
Forgot
it's
if she
just
still
all
needs
around
to do her
enjoyable.
shit as like a
Yep.
devil hunter.
It's just all around enjoyable. Like,
And
this is another one where I think it's really hard to like not like this show.
absolutely. And like we said, if you haven't watched it, now's the time because season 2 is finally coming soon in like 2 weeks. Like
And it's
Johnny
only
said.
12 episodes, so you can watch it.
Facts.
You can watch it nice and quick.
Next,
From this season.
had to add it. I had to. It's such a great show. It's such a great watch because you're just watching two people trying to make their love work on opposing sides.
It's not serious either, and it's really cute and charming and funny, and it is a turn your brain off one because even though she works for an evil corporation, what they do is very, very minimal almost. Like they're like, oh, we're gonna plan this big thing, but that's not the point of the story, and neither is it in the background gonna affect them because these two are just so OP and they're in love, and so. Yeah, no. One's a Power Ranger, basically. The other is like one of the key people for the villains, and they're in love, and they're keeping it a secret, and you just tag along. It's adorable.
It's literally Chinn and AK. Like,
Yeah.
that's them. 100%. Yeah, no, the show is cute, super enjoyable. It's funny because I think early on I was trying to figure out like, all right, her group is like evil, but they like go to school and like they're not really that evil. Like they don't really
Yeah.
do anything that's that evil. And like whenever they fight, the news crews are there and they kind of treat it like it's a show. So I spent a lot of time being like, is it like a serious evil or is it like
Yeah,
a
but that's
play
like
thing?
that's
Is it
exactly
like
it.
is it entertainment? Like is it the WWE? Is it
Yeah.
entertainment? Like,
But I think that's
but
what
then it
makes
got
it
to the point
funny.
where I was like, yeah, and then I was like, oh, it doesn't even matter. Like,
Because
whatever.
exactly,
Like,
it's not the point. But yeah,
Yeah,
so if you're looking for a
that's a
cute
good
show
choice.
to sink your teeth into that you literally don't have to think because the show is just watching these two people be a cute couple, this is the show for you. But aside from that fact, the side characters are amazing. I think I'm really enjoying the dynamic between the Blue Ranger and the Beast Princess. Like the fact that she's like
The
a
Beast
hard ass.
Princess. Oh, it's
She's
so
a hard
funny.
ass, but she doesn't want to like. She hates men, but she's being chased by a man, and she like doesn't know how to act.
Bro,
so she just runs away.
when he saw her, I was like, "Oh my god, you came back for me!"
Yeah, oh
She's
my
like,
God,
Yeah.
it's so good.
and he was like running after her, like, "I'm here."
everybody's
That was
dynamic.
so funny.
Everybody's dynamic is really cute. Like with the like they all mesh together well. Like how the Green Ranger grew up with the blonde villainess, but he's like traumatized by her because she was so powerful
Yeah.
at a young age, and now he's trying to like recruit her without knowing that
she's a villain. And every time
Yeah.
he fights
She
her,
is the villain.
he gets served by her. She's always like, "You went easy on me, didn't you?" Like she
And
like
he's like,
holds
"Yeah,
him to
yeah,
such
I
a high
did."
regard, even though he's like,
she whips my
I
ass
almost
every time.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show is mad good.
Yeah.
Just watch it.
It's so cute. Oh.
Shall we
Good
continue?
choice.
Was that the last
That's
one?
the last one.
I think that's the last one. If
I
I
did
could
it-
throw in one more
Yeah, what you
from
got?
this season, I would throw in Aharen-san from this season.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Aharen-san
everyone
is
loves that
because
show.
that show is literally so
one?
ridiculous.
The little girl and we can't
Oh, who
understand her.
talks really quiet?
Yeah. That show is so ridiculous, but it is so freaking funny. Like I am crying laughing every episode.
I gotta jump into that.
Yeah.
My
It's so
honorable
funny.
mention.
There's so many references that they make. Like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
What's the mafia boss husband? House husband.
Way of the house husband.
The way of the house husband. That would be my turn off your brain one too.
I mean, it's not much to look at. I'll tell you.
Exactly.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Let me just slide this picture
Honorable
in.
mention. Honorable mention.
My honorable mention would be, I forgot when this came out. I feel like it came out either 2015 or 2016. I gotta look up the title. I know the title is something along the lines of "Don't you know who I am? I'm Sakamoto" or something like that.
Oh yes, Sakamoto Deska.
Yeah, that would be my honorable mention, which is basically Sakamoto is
That's a
the
good
quote
one.
unquote coolest kid in all of the high school, and it's just following his group of haters that want to make him look bad but
Oh, is
can't.
that the one where he's like sitting on the windowsill?
Yes,
and then
that's
he, like,
it, yeah.
looks over
Yeah.
and he looks perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Sakamoto.
I was thinking about that
And then
too.
they pull his seat out, and
he's still
in, like,
sitting
a perfect
perfectly.
seated position.
It's such a dumb show, but it's. I remember watching that
It's
like.
so funny.
I remember hearing the premise and like, okay, let me see what this is about. Watching it and being like, why am I watching it? It's so dumb, but like I loved every
It's
bit
so
of it.
dumb,
It's so
but
dumb.
it's so funny.
And
Oh my!
obviously
He
his
literally
haters-
makes every bad situation turn into like the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Like he gets water dumped on him, and it turns out it makes his hair like slick back,
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
gives him this like sensual like see-through shirt.
And his haters, as much as they want to see his downfall, they always come around and like praise him. That's
Yep.
the touch. That's the touch.
so
to
good.
it. But yeah,
That's a good
that was our stream. Granted, we could have probably looked for more, but it's Wednesday. Who knows what you guys are doing? You want to get to bed early. It's before 10, which is rare for us, ending a stream before 10. But
For
damn
real.
it, we did it.
And thanks for tuning
did.
in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes,
y'all.
thank you for tuning in. I think the next episode next week will be
I
our
can see.
summer review or our spring review. My bad. Finalizing the spring season, giving our final scores for the shows, what we loved, what we didn't love, if there were shows that didn't meet our expectations, and if there were shows that exceeded our expectations. So make sure you tune in next week. And yeah, that's all we got.
We'll catch you in the Discord. So yeah.
Class dismissed.
Class dismissed.
Go
Go
turn
watch
your
those
brain
shows.
off.
Go watch those shows and tell us what your favorite scene was, because there's too many to pick from, and we would love to know. But with that
Yes.
said, we will catch you guys in the Discord. And next week,
Peace.
peace out.